In 2017, Riverdale Quiz Bowl made the finals at Brain Game, and we pulled off a victory against Lake High School. Last year, we returned to the Brain Game, and we lost to Patrick Henry High School, and we weren't too happy about that. So now we're back this year with a vengeance. We're prepared for the 2019 Brain Game Finals.
Sam is our team captain, and I'd say he really just has a grasp on a lot of bits and pieces of really everything as far as knowledge goes.
He's the guy that knows the stuff no one else knows. A lot of literature he'll know, especially this year he's been getting a lot of knowledge on literature.
Ben's one of our more legalistic minds on the team. He's got a great mind for social studies, world history, things in that spectrum.
Andrew's my brother, a little bit smarter than I am. The absolute math wizard. I don't understand half the things he does.
It's kind of scary sometimes how quickly he can solve things, that's for sure.
Aaron is our history guy.
If you ever want to know anything about World War I or II, you can tell him. His dad used to tell me he read books about the World Wars when he was in lower elementary school. It's just kind of his thing.
Our coach is Christy Thacker, and she's my mom.
Mrs. Thacker is a great coach. She, like everyone on the team, really just enjoys to learn about things, and she really enjoys teaching it to us.
Daniel is a boy genius.
He is a 13-year-old senior.
He's 13. He's probably the smartest person I've ever met.
So Daniel's kind of the superstar of the school. He's really well known for all of Toledo and even maybe throughout America because he got to meet the president, which is really exciting, through his science fair competition.
He gets a lot of science questions, mostly because he's in like a whole bunch of advanced science classes over at U Toledo.
When he was 9, he took my AP statistics class, which is a junior-senior class. He knew that I was the Quiz Bowl coach, and so when he was 10, he decided to do Quiz Bowl. So he's been on the high school Quiz Bowl team since he was 10. And if you look through the archives of the BGU Brain Game, you'll find footage of Daniel when he was 10, and he could barely see over the thing. And it's funny because the other teams, you know, they see this little kid, and then he rips a physics or a calculus question, and it just blows everybody's mind.
I've been accelerated through, I think, 4 grades so far. That's how I've gotten to this point here.
Mazen is a senior, and he's our top player. He's one of the top players in the country.
Mazine is very, very intelligent. He is our MVP pretty much. He's the one who gets most of the questions, and we rely on him for pretty much everything.
Jenny's mostly really good with pop culture.
She knows a lot about classical music. Jenny can also answer sports questions too.
Deepta, she's kind of like me. We kind of, we try to slip in when we can.
I've seen Deepta get like a bunch of questions. She gets pop culture, I've noticed. And I've seen her get some history questions too. She's definitely like a good vibe on the team too. She's super chill.
Our team coach is Mr. Tony Torrio. He is the algebra teacher and statistics.
I've never heard a single person say they didn't like Mr. Torrio, and he's a great Quiz Bowl coach too.
When we first won Brain Game in 2017, it was a really cool experience just to see all the cameras pointed at us. It was like Hollywood, you know? So if we could do that again, that would just be the neatest thing.
I think with the experience we have with going to the finals the past 2 years and coming into this year, I don't think there's really a target on our back. I think it's more that we have an air of confidence around us now. So we're just coming into this more confident than we've ever been.
Once your knowledge base in Quiz Bowl is good, it's your experience and how prepared you are to answer questions that shines through.
Travis Scott and a member of this music group make up the duo Huncho Jack.
Oh, wow.
Migos for 15.
Our team is very chill and relaxed, but I think that enables us to be good at what we do because most of us are passionate about it enough to work on it on our own and increase our general knowledge, which is what's needed in Quiz Bowl.
We've never won it. We've had great teams who could have won it, but we'd get knocked out. We'd have a bad performance or get knocked out on the last question. So to be able to win the whole thing, it would just be a great honor for the school. And for me as a coach, it would get that monkey off my back.
I feel like one of our greatest strengths is the fact that we've been together so long. Our cohesion is it's very strong. We know what everyone else knows. We know that someone has got this question, someone's got that question.
We play a lot of other teams, and I think if you watch Brain Games, sometimes you'll see other teams compete, where it's kind of a one-man show.
Ottawa Hills, Mazen.
Stomata.
Mazen.
Meniscus.
Mazen.
C204.
Correct.
That's not this team at all. They play off each other's strengths. They are there to remind each other they are a unit. I couldn't be prouder of that. That is really definitely their strength.
Honestly, Mazine probably doesn't need us, but we're there for moral support.
Mazine's not very arrogant, like that's not really his style. Even if Mazine was the best person at everything, I don't think Mazine would be that arrogant.
I found out through a third party that he got a perfect score on his ACT. He never even mentioned it. I found out from another student when he got into Harvard, you know, he's not inclined to talk about himself.
My favorite round is probably the category round. My strategy for the category round, I guess, to pick the highest value questions and just go with those, because I find that when you build the lead up early, the other team kind of gets phased out. Definitely building up a big lead early helps to win, especially in a timed round where you can just, I guess, kind of stall.
I think the category round is our best round as a team. We are able to navigate through the questions and determine which topics we have the best chance at versus what topics the opposing team has the worst chance at.
When you're behind in the category round, you start to guess more, and that's right when you start losing points.
There was one round on the show this year where he almost swept the category by himself, and I was just standing there, I don't know how to do any of this. And there he was, getting him right, just almost sweeping the category. And he's so much more than a quiz bowl player, though. I mean, as a brother, he's everything I could ask for. I mean, he's there for me when I need him. Just goes above and beyond as a brother.
Jenny's one of my closest friends, and we actually joined Quiz Bowl together. We do a lot of our extracurriculars together.
Deepta is my good friend. She's funny and she's fun to be around, and I like hanging out with her.
The likelihood is Daniel and Mazen will be our sort of our stars, and that Jenny and Deepta will just be kind of filling in some of the gaps. But that's a normal thing with teams. You have in any sport, in any competition, you've got some players that carry more of a load than others, and it's all part of the team chemistry.
I think it is a bit of an oddity that I have 3 sons who have all played Quiz Bowl, all been captains at Riverdale, and that their senior years, they've all gone to the Brain Game finals. I don't know what to say about that. I'm not sure how much it has to do with me. I think it has a lot to do with how well I marry, because their father is a vast pool of random knowledge. So just growing up in the house was day-to-day preparations for Quiz Bowl and Quiz Bowl captaining.
I think family rivalry is really important in any family. And so to say you're the best or you're the winningest at anything is definitely a big plus. And so to say I'd be necessarily the winningest stacker at Brain Game, that's just something 10 years down the line at a family gathering when I look at my siblings, I can say, hey, so you won no Brain Games, so you won 1 Brain Game? Oh, right, I won 2 Brain Games.
To win finally after 3 years in my senior year would definitely mean a lot. This is my last year, and it's the last year for Daniel too, so this is both of our last shots to win the Brain Game.
Mazine and Daniel have made such a big impact on Quiz Bowl at our school. We really want to win this championship for them just because they are such amazing Quiz Bowl players, and it would make all of us ecstatic, like as a school, if we could end this on a high note for their last year here.
I think it's awesome that we've made finals 3 years in a row. We won the first year, we lost that second year. We have to win this one. I mean, before we become a so-called dynasty, we have to prove it.
I think we're a dynasty that far exceeds the Patriots' level of success, and I think Andrew and I both are more successful and look better than Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. So,
as far as Riverdale's dynasty goes, I'm not too worried about going up against them in Brain Game.
Well, from the looks of it, we're definitely an underdog against Riverdale. We'll come in with a chip on our shoulder and kind of be eager to take on the challenge.
Well, I just have one question for Riverdale. Do they have a Mazine? And that's all I have to say, because I'm pretty sure Mazine's one of the best players, and Riverdale hasn't faced Mazine yet.
Ottawa Hills, we're coming for you. So watch your backs and your fronts and all around, because we're coming for you.
I'm bad at trash talking, so I guess we'll see you there. Good luck.
Ottawa Hills, you know you're good, we know you're good, but this is our year.
Next on BGSU Brain Game, it is Ottawa Hills versus Riverdale. In 1637, the French philosopher René Descartes famously stated, "I think, therefore I am." While this may be true, as for me, I think that this is the BGSU Brain Game finale. Therefore, we better get ready for one massive, monumental mixed martial arts battle between the Brainiacs. That's right, we are in store for one sensational synaptic showdown. BGSU Brain Game, the finale, starts right now. Welcome to BGSU's Brain Game, the finale. We have Ottawa Hills versus Riverdale. Let's get right to it and meet our team. Starting off with Riverdale. Tell us who you are.
I'm Sam, and I'm a senior. To my right is Andrew, and he's also a senior. And to my left is Ben, and he's a junior. And our coach is Mrs. Thacker.
All right, welcome to Riverdale. Ottawa Hills, tell us who you are.
I'm Mazen. I'm a senior. To my right is Daniel. He's a senior. To my left is Jenny. She's a junior. And our coach is Mr. Torrio.
All right, well, welcome to both of our teams. Congratulations on getting to the finale. We're going to start things off, though, as we always do, with our toss-up round. In this round, all questions are worth 10 points. No deduction for an incorrect answer, so feel free to play a little bit looser on your buzzers. You may confer before buzzing in, not after, and you can steal a question in this round. Riverdale, Ottawa Hills, are you ready for the finale? All right, it starts right now. Among the following literary characters, what is the common theme? Robert Louis Stevenson's Captain Flint, Hugh Lofting's Polynesia, and Iago from Disney's Aladdin. Riverdale, Ben.
They're birds.
We cannot accept that. We need more specific. Ottawa Hills, would you like to steal? That would be Mazen.
They're pirates.
Incorrect. They're parrots. Close. All right, the number of units in 1 mole of any substance is known as what? That would be Ottawa Hills. Mazen.
Avogadro's number.
Correct. Which form of the adjective bad should be used to correctly complete the following sentence? Thomas thought the stings, let me start again. Thomas thought the stings from the ants were blank than any wasp. That would be Riverdale. Andrew.
Worse.
Worse is correct. What is the meaning of glasnost, the term used by Mikhail Gorbachev to describe greater freedom of speech and action? That would be Ottawa Hills. Mazen.
Openness.
Openness, yes. In the Lord of the Rings trilogy, what was Aragorn's elfish name? That would be Ottawa Hills. Daniel.
Dunedain.
Incorrect. Riverdale, would you like to steal?
See Orlando Bloom. That's cool. I was going to say that.
Time. Estelle is what we needed there. Considered one of the Great Lakes of Africa, this body of water was named by John Speke. Ottawa Hills. Mazen.
Lake Victoria.
Correct. In July 2017, which Olympic gold medalist swimmer took on the challenge of man versus shark in a discovery? That would be Ottawa Hills. Mazen.
Michael Phelps.
Correct. Home to the Meadowlands Sports Complex, this New Jersey city hosts both the Nets, that would be Riverdale. Sam.
Newark.
Incorrect. Nets pro basketball team and the Devils pro hockey team. Name this city that was the site of Super Bowl 48. Ottawa Hills. Mazen.
Plainsboro.
Incorrect. East Rutherford is what we needed there. Usually seen with a writing tablet in hand, this muse was considered the oldest and wisest of the group. Who is this muse of epic poetry? Ottawa Hills. Mazen.
Calliope.
Correct. Cochinos Bay on the southwestern coast of Cuba gained what nickname after Cuban? Ottawa Hills. Mazen.
Bay of Pigs.
Bay of Pigs, yes. If stress is applied to a system at equilibrium, the system will tend to readjust so that stress, Ottawa Hills. Daniel.
Le Chatelier's principle.
Correct. A tireless worker for social reform, she was raised by her grandmother following her parents' death. Identify this 20th century First Lady whose passion was social justice. Ottawa Hills. Mazen.
Eleanor Roosevelt.
Eleanor Roosevelt is correct. Among rocks, this sedimentary variety is, for the most part, formed from shells of marine organisms. Ottawa Hills, Daniel.
Sandstone?
Incorrect. Made of calcium carbonate. Identify this rock that transforms into marble. Riverdale, Sam.
Limestone?
Limestone, yes. Sometimes referenced as the Battle of the Ironclads, the USS Monitor and the CSS Merrimack clashed in which naval conflict? Riverdale, Ben.
Civil War.
Incorrect. Naval conflict on March 9th, 1862. Ottawa Hills, would you like to steal? That would be Mazen.
Battle of the Potomac.
Incorrect. The Battle of Hampton Roads. Typically used to designate a church or skyscraper feature, this tapering conical or pyramidal structure sits atop a building. Identify this. That would be Riverdale. Ben.
Steeple.
We will accept that. End of round. Let's take a look at our score. We have Ottawa Hills currently in the lead with 80 points, but coming on in second place is Riverdale at 30. It's anyone's game in this finale. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game, the finale. Riverdale 30, Ottawa Hills at 80 points. Looks like we have some substitutes as we get ready to go into the next round. Riverdale, tell us who has joined your team.
To my left, we have Aaron, and he's a junior.
All right, welcome to you, Ottawa Hills. Who's your new lineup?
This is Deepta. She's a junior.
All right, welcome to both of our new players. This is our head-to-head round. There are 15 questions in this round. They're worth 10 points, no deduction for an incorrect answer. Teams may confer as long as they want before or after buzzing in. The twist is that one team will stay in the studio, the other will head into isolation. We'll flip-flop, do it all over again. Same 15 questions at the end of that round. We're going to see where we stand. All right, Ottawa Hills, since you are at 80 points, you will be sticking around, meaning Riverdale. Off to isolation you go. All right, Ottawa Hills, are you ready for your 2 minutes and 30 seconds of head-to-head questions? Starts right now. What literary terms makes a comparison of two things using the words like?
Simile.
Correct. Among the U.S. constitutional amendments, this one guarantees people the right to have counsel in their own defense and the right to a speedy and public trial. Name this amendment.
Fifth.
Sixth. Where is the PGA's Masters tournament held?
Augusta.
Correct. What is the past participle of the verb swing?
Swung.
Correct. When emailing a document to another person for printing, converting the file to a PDF will preserve its content format. What is the meaning of the acronym PDF?
Portable document format.
Correct. Which U.S. states' nicknames are the Heart of Dixie and Yellowhammer State?
Alabama.
Correct. European country where one could visit the city of Belfast?
Northern Ireland.
Correct. Ozma of Oz, The Road to Oz, and The Lost Princess of Oz were sequels to what 1900 L. Frank Baum novel?
The Wizard of Oz.
Correct. What term refers to a herd of cattle that are running in an uncontrollable
stampede?
Correct. Since 1767, this line served as the divider between the free states and the slave states.
Mason-Dixon line.
Correct. How many lines make up a musical staff?
5.
Correct. Who was the 10th president of the United States?
No. I think Fillmore.
John Tyler. When we return from the movie, we will wash the dishes. What is the dependent clause in the preceding sentence?
When we return from the movie.
Correct. As of March 2019, who was the reigning British monarch?
Yeah, Elizabeth II.
Correct. In construction, what four-letter term designates the type of nail with a wide, flat head used for attaching carpet to floorboards and for
stud?
Incorrect. Tack is what we needed there. That is all 15 questions in the head-to-head round for you, Ottawa Hills. It is now time. Let's go ahead and give them a round of applause. It is now time for you to go to isolation. All right, let's bring back Riverdale. All right, Riverdale, are you ready for your 2 minutes and 30 seconds, 15 head-to-head questions?
Yes.
All right, this round for you starts right now. What literary term makes a comparison of two things using words like or as?
Simile.
Correct. Among the U.S. constitutional amendments, this one guarantees people the right to have counsel in their own defense and the right to a speedy and public trial.
6.
Correct. Where is the PGA Masters Tournament held?
Augusta.
Correct. What is the past participle of the verb swing?
Swung.
Correct. When emailing a document to another person for printing, converting the file to a PDF will preserve its content format. What is the meaning of the acronym PDF?
Portable document format.
Correct. Which U.S. state's nicknames are the Heart of Dixie and the Yellowhammer State?
Tennessee. South Carolina.
Alabama. European country where one could visit the city of Belfast?
Hungary.
Ireland. Ozma of Oz, The Road to Oz, and The Lost Princess of Oz were sequels to what 1900 L. Frank Baum novel?
The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Right? Sure. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Correct. What term refers to a herd of cattle that are running in an uncontrollable manner?
Stampede.
Correct. Since 1767, this line served as the divider between the free states and the slave states.
Mason-Dixon line.
Correct. How many lines make up a musical staff?
5.
Correct. Who was the 10th President of the United States?
6 before. Who's after Harrison?
Lincoln was.
No, wasn't he?
Pass.
John Tyler. When we return from the movie, we will wash the dishes. What is the dependent clause in the preceding sentence?
When we return to the movie, we wash the dishes.
Yeah.
We will wash the dishes.
Incorrect. When we return from the movie, as of March 2019, who was the reigning British monarch?
Elizabeth II.
Correct. In construction, what four-letter term designates the type of nail with a wide, flat head used for attaching carpet to floorboards and for attaching stretched fabric onto a wooden frame?
Pass.
Tack. That is all 15 questions in the head-to-head round for Riverdale. It is now time to clear our score, and let's bring back Ottawa Hills. Welcome back. Let's see where our teams stand. Riverdale, you have 130 points. Ottawa Hills, 200 points. Just 70 points separate these two teams. That can be made up very, very quickly, or someone can go on a tear. Why? Because our category round is coming up next, where questions can be worth as much as 30 points. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. Riverdale at 130, Ottawa Hills at 200 points in this Brain Game finale. Ottawa Hills, looks like you have someone returning to your team. Who's joined us? Rejoined us, I should say.
Jenny is back. She's still
All right, welcome to you. Riverdale staying with your lineup from the last round?
Yep.
All right. This is our category round. This is where the power shifts a little bit to our teams. We have 5 categories to choose from. Inside each category, our questions were 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 points. But here is your warning. Deductions start now. If you go for 20, you can lose 20 points. You may confer before buzzing in, not after, and you can steal a question in this round. Riverdale, since you are at 130 points, you get to make the first selection.
We'll start with U.S. state capitals for 10.
U.S. state capitals for 10 points. In which capital city would you visit the William J. Clinton Presidential Library? Ottawa Hills, Mazen.
Little Rock.
Little Rock, correct.
Poetry terms 20.
Poetry terms for 20 points. Number of lines in a limerick. Ottawa Hills, Mazen.
5.
Correct.
Poetry 25.
Poetry for 25 points. Name given to a collection of works that have been written by different authors. Ottawa Hills, Mazen.
Anthology.
Correct. Ottawa Hills in control.
30. Poetry, 30.
Poetry for 30 points. Type of poem that describes country life in a positive manner. That would be Ottawa Hills, Mazen.
Pastoral.
Pastoral, yes. Ottawa Hills in control.
Poetry, 10.
Poetry now for 10. Japanese poem that would be Ottawa Hills, Mazen.
Haiku.
Haiku.
Poetry, 15.
Poetry for 15, finishing off this category. 4-letter name for a long, serious poem, such as the Iliad. Ottawa Hills, Mazen.
Epic.
Epic, yes. That finishes off that category. Ottawa Hills in control.
Science for 20.
Science for 20 points begins with C. What type of chemical reaction gives off heat and light? Ottawa Hills, Daniel.
Combustion.
Combustion, correct. Ottawa Hills in control.
Science, 25.
Science for 25 points. What thread-like structure contains the DNA in a cell? Ottawa Hills, Daniel.
Chromosome.
Chromosome, yes. Ottawa Hills in control.
Science, 30.
Science for 30 points. What type of evergreen tree or shrub? Riverdale, Andrew.
Conifer.
Conifer is correct. Riverdale in control.
We'll do King Arthur for 10.
King Arthur for 10 points. What kingdom did Arthur rule? That would be Riverdale, Andrew.
Camelot.
Camelot is correct. Riverdale in control.
We'll do King Arthur for 15.
King Arthur now for 15 points. What brave knight fell in love with the king's wife? Riverdale, Andrew.
Lancelot.
Lancelot, yes. Riverdale in control.
We'll do King Arthur for 20.
King Arthur now for 20 points. What supernatural creature lived in the middle of a body of water and gave Riverdale, Andrew?
The Lady of the Lake.
The Lady of the Lake, yes. Riverdale in control.
King Arthur for 25.
King Arthur now for 25 points. What traitor fought King Arthur in the battle? That would be Riverdale, Andrew.
Mordred.
Mordred, yes. Riverdale in control, making a move.
We'll do King Arthur for 30.
King Arthur for 30, finishing off this category. What was King Arthur's mother's name?
Does not say anything.
Igraine. Riverdale in control.
We'll do Proverbs for 10.
Proverbs for 10 points. A picture is worth blank. Ottawa Hills, Mazen.
1,000 words.
1,000 words, yes. Ottawa Hills in control.
Math, 20.
Mathematics for 20 points. First recorded in history in 976 AD and contemplated by the Maya, this symbol, Riverdale, Andrew.
0.
0 is correct. Riverdale back in control.
15 Proverbs.
We'll do Proverbs for 15.
Proverbs now for 15 points. If the shoe fits, Ottawa Hills, Mazen.
Wear it.
Wear it, yes. Ottawa Hills in control.
Math, 15.
Mathematics for 15 points. In a room, both the ceiling and the floor are common examples of which type of flat? Riverdale, Andrew.
Bases.
Incorrect. Flat surface in geometry. Ottawa Hills, would you like to steal? That would be Daniel.
A plane.
A plane is what we needed there. Yes, Ottawa Hills in control.
Math, 25.
Mathematics for 25 points. If a 30-kilogram child sits 4 feet from the fulcrum of a teeter-totter, how far away will a 40-kilogram child need? Ottawa Hills, Daniel.
3 feet.
3 feet, yes. Ottawa Hills in control.
Math, 30.
Math for 30 points. What type of notation in algebra and calculus replaces standard inequalities with enclosure symbols, including Ottawa Hills, Mazen?
Set builder.
Incorrect. With enclosure symbols, including parentheses, brackets, numbers, and infinity to indicate a region on a graph. Riverdale, would you like to steal? That would be Riverdale. Andrew.
Set notation.
We cannot accept that. Interval notation is what we needed there. Ottawa Hills in control.
Science, 15.
Science for 15 points. What do we call an animal that eats the flesh of other? Ottawa Hills, Mazen.
Cannibal.
Incorrect. Of other animals. Riverdale, would you like to steal? That would be Aaron.
Carnivore.
Carnivore is what we needed there. Riverdale in control.
We'll do Proverbs for 20.
Proverbs for 20 points. Better safe than Ottawa Hills, Mazen.
Sorry.
Sorry, yes. Ottawa Hills in control.
Science, 10.
Science for 10 points. Give the term for a Russian astronaut. Riverdale, Andrew.
Cosmonaut.
Cosmonaut, yes. Riverdale now in control.
We'll do state capitals for 15.
State capitals for 15 points. What capital city of our 49th state has a greater land area than the entire state of Delaware? Riverdale. Aaron.
Honolulu.
Incorrect. Ottawa Hills, would you like to steal? That would be Mazen.
Juneau.
Correct. Ottawa Hills in control.
Math 10.
Mathematics for 10 points. In calculus, this concept is generalized by differentiation, while in algebra it is defined, that would be Ottawa Hills. Daniel.
Slope.
Slope is what we needed there. Yes, Ottawa Hills in control.
Capitals 20.
U.S. Capitals for 20 points. In which state capital is the U.S. Naval Academy located? Riverdale. Sam.
Annapolis.
Correct. Riverdale now in control.
What are Capitals for 25?
Capitals for 25. Which capital city is home to the only royal palace in our country?
Just don't say anything.
Time. Honolulu, Hawaii. Riverdale in control.
What are Capitals for 30?
Capitals for 30 points. Which of the capital cities lies farthest east?
No, that was it.
Riverdale. Sam.
Augusta.
Correct. Riverdale in control.
What are Proverbs for 25?
Proverbs for 25. Haste makes Riverdale. Andrew.
Waste.
Correct. And the final question in Proverbs 30 is a bird in the hand. That will be Riverdale. Andrew.
2 in the bush.
2 in the bush. Yes, that is all of our category questions. Let's give these teams a round of applause for that. Wow. All right, let's take a look at our score. We have Riverdale with 320 points. Ottawa Hills currently in the lead with 420 points. Only 100 points separate these two teams. Anything can happen in our next round. It is the final round in this finale, the Brainstorm Round, where questions are worth 20 points apiece. Anybody's game. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game, the finale. We have Riverdale with 320 points, Ottawa Hills with 420 points. Still anybody's game. We told you it would be a sensational synaptic showdown, and that's what we've got. Anybody's game. Riverdale, looks like you've a returning player. Who's rejoined you?
Ben is rejoining us.
Ottawa Hills, who's returned for you?
Deep does back.
All right, welcome back to both of our returning players and those who have stayed from the last round. This is the final round in this finale, the Brainstorm Round. All questions in this round are worth 20 points, but beware, negative 20 points for an incorrect answer. You may confer before buzzing in, and you can steal a question in this round. We do have a potential tie situation here. If that is the case, we will move immediately to a tiebreaker question that will be worth 10 points. The team that will be the champion must win with a correct answer if it goes to the tiebreaker round. All right, Riverdale, Ottawa Hills, fantastic game so far. Are you ready for the final round? Brainstorm round begins right now. The Mekong River in China empties into what body of water? Riverdale. Ben.
Sea of Japan.
Incorrect. South China Sea. Which branch of the U.S. Armed Forces song contains the line from the halls of Riverdale? Sam.
Marines.
Correct. Commonly known as lodestone, what rock? Riverdale. Andrew.
Magnetite.
Correct. What is the full title of the following? The Celebrated Jumping Frog, Ottawa Hills. Mazen.
Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County.
Correct. Type of right angle whose two legs and their associated angles are equal. Riverdale. Andrew.
Right isosceles.
Correct. What is the second most populous state in the U.S.? Riverdale. Andrew.
New York.
Incorrect. Texas. Who discovered the neutron?
Oh, do you know? Neutron? It's not good for
James Chadwick. This American actor's movies include The Panic in Needle Park, Scarface, and The Godfather. Identify this. Ottawa Hills. Mazen.
Brando.
Incorrect. Al Pacino. What is 15% of 10,000? Riverdale. Andrew.
1,500.
Correct. This 2017 animated film featured a suit-wearing infant who that would be Riverdale. Ben.
Boss Baby.
Correct. What state did JFK represent in both Ottawa Hills? Mazen.
Massachusetts.
Correct. How many presidents are featured on Mount Rushmore? Riverdale, Andrew.
4.
Correct. What handheld instrument is used to draw circles? Riverdale, Ben.
Compass.
Correct. What 7-letter word is the name given to any line that touches a circle at Riverdale, Andrew?
Tangent.
Correct. How many named constellations exist? That would be Ottawa Hills, Daniel.
88.
Correct. What New England state is widely known for its maple syrup? Ottawa Hills, Mazen.
Vermont.
Correct. What is the name of Canada's longest river? Ottawa Hills, Mazen.
Mackenzie.
Correct. What explorer discovered Florida while searching? Ottawa Hills, Mazen.
Ponce de Leon.
Correct. In what state was Mark Twain born? Ottawa Hills, Mazen.
Missouri.
Correct. Who was the 20th President of the United States?
Disgusting. Don't even think about it. This is not like relevant.
James Garfield. Which future First Lady urged her husband as he was helping write Ottawa Hills, Mazen?
Abigail Adams.
Correct. End of round. Let's take a look at our score. We have Riverdale with 440 points, and our winner and champion with 560 points is Ottawa Hills. Let's hear it for Ottawa Hills. Nothing like a little confetti to celebrate our new champion. Stick around, join us. Our trophy presentation is coming up next. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game, the finale. Let's hear it for both of these teams, huh? Ottawa Hills and Riverdale. This is the highest scoring brain game in the history of Brain Game. All right, let's present our, let's hear it. Come on, we can applaud for that. All right, it's time to present our trophies. First, I would like to introduce our judge, Judge Karen Harris. Judge Karen, she is the lifeline of this show. She has been on Jeopardy. She knows her stuff. Let's hear it for Judge Karen. She is a sweetheart. We get to work together before every show, getting ready for it, and it's a great time. We have a great time together getting ready for the show. All right, it is time to present our second place trophy to Riverdale. Let's hear it for Riverdale, everybody. Great game. You guys had a great run. Coach, I just have to ask you, what do you have to say about your team? What do you have to say? Coming in second, it's not the top spot, but I tell you what, a lot of teams just dream of getting to this spot. Tell us about your team.
Well, I have to say, first off, that coming in second to Ottawa Hills isn't anything that anyone would sneeze at. So they're heavy hitters in our world. And so not wincing at that. So I'll just say about my team, I was told that we were the first team to be in the finals 3 years in a row. And I'll tell you, knowing my team, that it's not actually that much of a surprise to me. A lot of teams have one player that kind of dominates, and that's not them. They are a team, and they have a lot, all of them, to give. And so I've been the seniors coach since they were 7th graders, so I'm a little emotional about this, but I could not be prouder of these gentlemen and how they represent our school out into our community. All
right, if you could hand that over to Sam. Sam, you're the team captain here. Tell us about the camaraderie between you and your team, and a little bit of advice going into next season, because you're a senior, you're not going to be here.
I've known all these guys, and my mom, of course, for a number of years, and so we're all really great friends, and I hope that it continues into later life. But if I had to give anyone advice, it'd be to always take pride in what you do, have fun with whatever you're doing, and push yourself to be the best you can be, which is what I think a lot of us have done here today, everyone in this room.
Well, let's hear it for Riverdale, everyone. One more time for Riverdale. All right, I'm going to just sneak here in front of Karen real quick as she picks up that first place trophy with a score of 560 points. Our champion is Ottawa Hills. Let's hear it for Ottawa Hills. Congratulations to you. All right, just a couple quick questions for you guys. This goes to Mazen and Coach. Seems like Riverdale was in the rearview mirror the whole time. Tell us about how that felt and what you talked to your team about to stay cool, collected, and in the game.
We definitely, before the last round, we know Riverdale well. We see them at tournaments, played many times, know they're well coached, and we knew with their experience that they could definitely make the comeback. So I coached them, play conservatively, and you saw it. They made a comeback and tied it up with very little time left. So we knew, and the key was staying calm and hitting the questions that you could and not cracking under the pressure. So.
If you could hold the mic over there for Mazen. Mazen, question for you in the category round. It looks like you guys had a category, Riverdale had a category. It was back and forth in that category round. I thought that was kind of the critical round to set up the Brainstorm round. Can you talk to us a little bit about that round?
Well, in isolation, I emphasized to my team to just stay calm and collected. There are going to be categories that sometimes we don't know too well. But the big thing is always keeping your head in the game and never being stuck to one category.
All right, if you could hand it back there to Coach. Coach, one last question for you. What's your final word to your team, now champions? Just tell us your thoughts on your team and what this season has meant to you.
This has been great. We've been close, but we've never won, the televised championship. So this was really great. We knew we could, but you just never know. It's so unpredictable, and that's what makes good TV.
It does.
So I'm really glad, Daniel and Mazen are seniors, and so I'm glad they got to go out with the championship. So I'm really proud of all of them. They have great chemistry. They're just good kids. I enjoy spending time with them. Aside from winning, it's just been. I just enjoy every aspect of it. So to win the title has just been the cherry on top. It's been great.
All right, let's hear it one more time for both of our teams, Riverdale and Ottawa Hills. Ottawa Hills is our new champion. I want to thank all of the schools. I want to thank all of the coaches. I want to thank all of the students. And of course, I want to thank everybody on the Brain Game team. And of course, you at home for making this a great season of Brain Game. We're so glad that you stuck around for some bodacious brain battles, and we're looking forward to seeing you next season. So stay tuned for the next Brain Game. One more time for our teams, Riverdale, and our champions, Ottawa Hills.